Okay guys, sorry we had to go to a third video to get through this James Bond tutorial, but I think we'll be able to do it. I'll be able to finish her up on this one. Okay guys, so we left off, we covered intro, melody A, melody B, sorry, we covered intro, melody A transition, and then melody B and melody C, and we left off just about to cover melody D. So melody D brings us up further up the neck, so we're going to be at the 9th fret, right, for your left hand on the 4th string with this note. I'll play the section for you first. Okay, and actually it's not really a melody, so let's just call it transition 2, okay, rather than melody D. So this is our second transition in the song, and we go from basically playing octaves from the 9th fret to the 7th fret, right, back and forth. And I just use P, since this video is focusing on primarily the right hand, I use P for both of those elements. So P here, P there, okay? And then here, for that little tricky bit, I use a combination of P and I, so we can get that little fast kind of rhythmic idea. It's really easy to play that way. Okay, so if we slow that down, it's okay, and we finish with that nice slide. Okay, so it's a fun section to play, this little transition. And so yeah, if you just alternate P and I quickly and without too much movement, you notice I'm not moving the fingers too much, just little tiny strokes. That'll help facilitate that part of the idea, okay? And then the slide, in order to get the note to sound, you just have to keep the pressure down on the string as you slide, okay? So that's something that you can practice in isolation just to get used to how that feels, right? Keeping the pressure down. Okay, so that is the transition 2, which will take us to okay, maybe the hardest part of the song, but we'll break it down into small little bits to make it easier. This is the outro, okay? So I'll play that for you. And then we'll do the chord later, or the ending later. Okay, so this is just a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs, and if done with the correct left-hand fingering, should make it fairly doable. Okay, so we start off with a hammer-on on the 6th string. We hammer on to the G note there on the 3rd fret, and then we prep our fingers. We have our pinky right underneath that 3rd finger on the C note, and then we have our 1st finger on the 2nd fret, same string, 5th string, which will create a B note. Okay, so we do this, we do that prep, so we do the hammer on onto the G note, and then we do this, a little pull off from the pinky to the 1st finger. Okay, so it gives us a nice little suspension there. Okay, and then the next move, actually sorry guys, I set you up wrong with the left hand, so it should be not the pinky and the 1st finger, it should be the pinky and the 2nd finger on your left hand. Okay, so much easier to do. Alright, so the 3rd finger plays G, pinky plays the C note on the 5th string, and then the 2nd finger plays the B note on the 5th string. So okay, and then if you keep your fingers down in this position, so you still have the G with the 3rd finger and the B with your 2nd finger, keep those guys there, it sets up the next move, which is this. And it's pretty much the same thing going on, right? But now it's the pinky, instead of moving to the 2nd finger, the 2nd finger is busy now, so the pinky's going to pull off, or do a pull off with the 1st finger on the 4th string. So that's moving from F to E. So again, it would sound like this. Right, so you're pulling off now from the 4th finger to the 1st finger. And then the last little motif is just you play the B note with the 2nd finger. You can take everything else off. and you play the D string open underneath, and you do another pull off with the pinky to the first finger, but now on the third string. Okay, so this is a lot of left hand information. I know this is a video about the right hand, but you do need to know what's going on in the left hand because it's kind of busy, right? Okay, so we do the B note on the 5th string with a D note underneath it, which is the open string, open D, and then a pull off, right, from the B flat to the A, so that's the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, and you're going to use fingers, your 4th finger on your left hand, followed by your 1st finger. Okay, and I do all this. I do most of this, 2/3 of that with the using P on the right hand, and just the last one I use I for. So the action that occurs on the 3rd string, I do that using the I finger. Okay, and the final little bit there is that pull off using your 2nd finger to the open G string. Okay, so we'll do all that together, really slow. Hopefully it's just going to help just to kind of see it in slow motion. Okay, one more time. And then the final chord. Okay, so let's just say that's a pretty advanced technique, this outro section. Let's just say for some folks it might make more sense to move from the transition number 2 right to the chord, right? And so I want to make that clear, guys. We don't need to use this fancy outro section if it's too much to grasp at this time. Just know that you can also go from the transition number 2 right to the final chord. Okay. Now, hopefully I have enough time. Let's just break down the final chord a little bit. Okay, so the final chord is basically an E minor, but you're adding the C sharp on the 2nd string, and you're adding an F sharp on the 1st string. So that gives us, let's see, look at the C sharp, so it gives us an E minor 6, and then the F sharp add 9. Cool, it's an E minor 6 add 9 chord. Very cool. Right? You can just let that be the ending, or if you want to get a little fancier, you could just do something like, and then maybe, and you can finish off with a flourish, right? Like that. If that's too tricky in the right hand, you could do something like this. And then just E minor. Now what I did there was just, rather than strum the E minor chord, I just used my I finger to basically like percussively